Welcome to Ramp Racing 2. 32 cars are set and ready to take on the ramp. First up, we have Kurt Busch versus Daniel Suarez. And Kurt Busch will take race 1. Next up, we have Brad Keselowski versus Christopher Bell. And it's going to be Christopher Bell. Next up, we have Austin Dillon versus Alex Bowman. And this one's going to be Austin Dillon. Next up, we have Kevin Harvick versus Ross Chastain. And Ross Chastain's going to win. Next up, we have Ryan Newman versus Jimmy Johnson. And it's going to be Ryan Newman by a nose. Next up, we have Tyler Reddick versus Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And it's going to be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to win. Next up, we have Chase Elliott versus Bubba Wallace. And it's going to be Chase Elliott to win. Next up, we have Eric Almirola versus Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth's going to nose him. Next up, we have Denny Hamlin versus Cole Custer. And Cole Custer will win. Next up, we have Ryan Blaney versus John Hunter Nemechek. And Ryan Blaney's going to win it by a nose. Next up, we have Ty Dillon versus Ryan Preece. And Ryan Preece will win. Next up, we have Clint Boyer versus Michael McDowell. And Michael McDowell will win. Next up, we have Chris Buescher versus Corey LaJoie. And Chris Buescher will win. Next up, we have Kyle Busch versus William Byron. And William Byron's going to win. Next up, we have Martin Truex Jr. versus Joey Logano. And Joey Logano's going to win. And last up, we have Eric Jones versus Matt DiBenedetto. And Eric Jones will win. So here we go. 16 cars remain for round 2. First up, we have Kurt Busch versus Christopher Bell. And Christopher Bell will win. Next up, we have Austin Dillon versus Kevin Harvick. And it's going to be Kevin Harvick to win. Next up, we have Ryan Newman versus Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And it's going to be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to win. Next up, we have Chase Elliott versus Matt Kenseth. And Matt Kenseth will win. Next up, we have Ryan Blaney versus Cole Custer. And Cole Custer will win. Then we have Clint Boyer versus Ryan Preece. And Clint Boyer is going to easily take the win. Next up, we have Chris Buescher versus William Byron. And William Byron will win. Then we have Eric Jones versus Joey Logano. And Eric Jones will win. 8 cars remain with round 3. Kevin Harvick versus Christopher Bell. And Kevin Harvick's going to get it by a nose. Next up, we have Matt Kenseth versus Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And Ricky Stenhouse will win. Then we have Clint Boyer versus Cole Custer, teammates. Clint Boyer is going to win. Next up, we have Chris Buescher versus Eric Jones. And at the line, it's Chris Buescher. First up, we have the semifinals, Kevin Harvick versus Ricky Stenhouse. Ricky Stenhouse wins by a nose. Clint Boyer versus Chris Buescher, and Clint Boyer wins it by a nose. So the 47 of Andrew H21 and the 14 of Mike Skinner will go in the championship race. Who's going to win it all? And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wins it by a nose, and Andrew H21 will win. So congratulations to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Andrew H21 for winning Ramp Racing number 2.